So, last time on Robotech, what the hell did you crazy people do? What do you remember?
I scared some desert bandits.
We recruited a small child.
Yep, we recruited a child soldier to lead us somewhere. And then we went into the desert after the group ran away from some bad guys, including some guy that probably is Mr. X.
Gonna deliver.
And when we went out to the desert, we were checking around for a sunken spaceship and managed to find it after a little bit of searching, only to then find ourselves between two different groups. One being a collection of rednecks, their trucks, and an 18-wheeler, all loaded down with tows, guns, and missiles, looking to cause problems.
American picnic.
Mm-hmm. And they were trying to find the ship that we were looking for with explosives and sonar. And on top of that, we also got stuck between a rather royal, or rather not royal, but, fancy-looking convoy on the other side, full of very good-looking cars and this limousine going through the desert. We then went.
Insurance.
What was that?
They've got insurance.
Mm-hmm. And then while that was all going on, I went with the child soldier down into the dungeon that I learned is for, the full party to go into. And, so now I'm down in a dark dungeon that I can barely see anything in because the ASC doesn't bother to actually spend money on any of their equipment.
Oops.
And the rest of the group went out to confront the truckers, only to find out that the truckers are very much assholes. And upon noticing that they had been outnumbered by two destroyers, a defender, a tomahawk, and then also the officer pod that Magnus is piloting, they proceeded to ask for nearby ASC forces to just lob monster shells at us, which we luckily survived. And I think that's where we left off.
Okay. I feel compelled to point out that Ijaj is neither technically a child and is definitely not a soldier.
Yeah, it's close enough.
Yeah, it seems accurate.
No, that's bad players. Bad.
I mean, you described her as a child to us, so what did you expect?
She's like a teenager or something.
Which is basically from your perspective.
I mean, yeah, to be fair, like two of us are 50 plus.
I feel like that's what like a pedophile would say in court or something. She's a child from your perspective. It's like that's.
What the fuck?
GM.exe has stopped working already. We've won, guys.
Alright. It wasn't in the playbook. But this session gonna hurt.
Good.
You mean I'm gonna be
good luck. Good luck, Roland.
I swear to God, if I suffer because of Storm's stupid point there, I'm gonna make a character to come back and kill him with a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
So,
go ahead. Draw your last card. Your last pathetic card.
I don't have any pathetic cards.
I
have Grubey.
I'm gonna be killing people this session. So, Roland, Magnus V. Magnuson, and Randall, along with actually pretty much it's just you guys up on the surface in your mecha, and you were retreating from the artillery bombardment. There was no sign of the convoy when the dust settled. So, where are you pulling back to? I believe you said you guys were heading back to the sunken entrance. Was that correct?
Yes.
Sure. We just kind of retreated away from Bombardment.
I don't know. There's no video to prove what we said.
Exactly. So where did we want to go, guys?
You wanted to come
Grace.
save me.
The final frontier.
I guess so. We can go save Roland. We can fall back to his position and stomp all over the buried ship and see what we can shake loose.
Yeah. I'm sure that won't be precarious for the people that are actually in the ship. You know, being on the surface, stomping with their giant robots.
No big deal.
Luckily, I have a small child to throw at the debris in case it falls at me.
You mean the small child has an old man to throw at the debris in case it falls on her?
No,
Technically, I guess you could say it's a medium-sized child.
Oh, true, a medium-sized child. That means that it'll reduce the falling damage of it by at least 1d6.
Okay. So, are you guys heading back to the ship, or are you heading back to the ship?
Yes.
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 Absolutely.
Cool. I have no idea what the hell you guys are doing.
I guess we're gonna go back to the Cyclops, which should be like pretty much right next to the actual ship site.
It was some distance away. You had yet to move it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like Randall hasn't called us for help, right? So, or I'm sorry, Roland, not Randall.
I was gonna say, why would I be calling for help?
Meanwhile, on Roland's end, he's screaming for help because it's dark.
Hope you're not afraid of the dark, Roland. Okay, so as you guys move on back to the Cyclops, the dust clouds are beginning to settle somewhat. And upon your return, you just hear coming through the radio more of the Suja Hull crap being streamed over. It's not a new one, it's just more of it. It's just coming in through the radio. And you're greeted immediately back by Mills, who's just like, well, oh good then? You got the treasure?
We got something.
It's not treasure, is it?
I mean, it's ammunition, which is a form of treasure. It's just, it's coming at us, from the barrels of other people.
That's being shot.
Yes.
Don't do that.
I mean, gotta keep life interesting, right? Yeah, I don't know. We got two forces coming at us from this direction and that direction, and I don't think either one of them is gonna be too happy to talk to us.
Okay then. Why don't you guys just wait right there for just 5 seconds? And then why don't you go and see what Roland's doing?
Oh god, my leg!
So the only way in to see to where Roland is a human-sized entrance.
Yes, it's a human-sized entrance that's been carved into the hull. Are you guys going to go to the sunken ship?
Yeah, I'm gonna put on my armor, and grab some rope and a flashlight and a flashlight and bent piece of
Yep.
rebar or something to use as a grappling hook.
Yep. Fortunately, since you have UEDF armor, you have flashlight built into your helmet. Yeah. So, anyone else want to grab anything else?
Yeah, I guess I could go down there too, considering it's a dungeon. Supposed to have everybody down there, I guess.
And I'll wait at the ship.
Oh yeah, you're a big giant guy.
I mean,
giant pod.
once we find a bay door we can open or something, we'll let you know.
Or flood that entire bay with sand.
Well, I mean, we'll let him know where it is so he start digging.
No big deal.
All right.
Okay.
Let me see what the list of stuff we got. As soon as I find it. Silverwing's Armory. What armor do we have? I see one light armor and one heavy armor.
We have those fancy suits.
The ASD ones.
Yeah.
How many of those do we have?
You had like 5 of those.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
I'll take one of those, but I'll also like duct tape like a flashlight to the shoulder or to the helmet.
Yep. You look like a samurai cosplayer.
All right. Samurai Lonzo.
Samurai pizza cats.
Samurai Jack. Anyway,
Close to CC.
so I guess we go down there. What weapons are we going to be armed with?
I mean, we've all got personal weapons. That's all I was really planning on carrying.
Do we have any? Gosh dang it, I'm going to look up the armory again. 6 M37 Weasel pistols, 1 Mark 1 Holden shotgun, not going to use that thing, 1 M21 assault rifle, 1 Martin sniper rifle, 1 heavy machine gun, 1 flamethrower, 1 RL1 rocket launcher, 1 RL2 missile launcher. Okay. I guess I'll just take the M21. I mean, like, it's not like there's going to be a bunch of, like, giant spiders and shit down there, right?
Just one. Her name is Shalab.
So we only need a midget to get in there and stab her.
Yeah.
Wait, do we have and I have a midget with me. There we go. We're all good.
I'm afraid spiders are banned in my games due to reasons, so you'll find the Belrog down there instead.
So we only need an old man who sacrifices himself and then becomes even stronger.
We already had a spider in another game. So just post that spider?
Yeah, the role was post that spider because I unfortunately am terrified by giant spiders. That's my beat.
Oh. Then I should get rid of the spiders and the other no.
Yeah, I replaced all my dungeon spiders with worms.
What if it's a Gundam in the shape of a spider?
Well, it's not like Lonzo has a girlfriend that could possibly get melted by a giant worm down there.
Nah, he's got wives. 2 wives.
They're both down there.
Oh no.
And all his kids. I don't even remember. It's been like months since I've read his backstory. It's not been relevant.
Not
He's just a
yet.
dude at this point. All right. Well, I'm gonna go in.
You're gonna head on down, Magnus. You head. What are you doing?
I guess I'm going back to the ship.
It's back to the Cyclops.
Yeah.
Okay. Once your teammates are armed and head on out, the ship just takes off and leaves.
Our ship takes off and leaves?
Yeah.
Oh, so Mills just ditches us?
Yeah, the last thing you hear over the radios is going out for cigarettes.
Wait, I thought we were like there rearming and stuff.
Yeah, and then you guys walked away, and then as you're there, he just takes off. Magnus.
So then I just go to the cockpit and be like, "Yo, land."
See those, Magnus? And he just points to the radio, to the radar.
What's on the radar?
There's a whole bunch of blips. Very much approaching very fast.
Oh, it's probably the ASC, but
Okay.
Yeah. So grab the stick and start dodging. We'll pick them up later. So
Windows typing. Oh no, is this for crash? No. I was hearing him kind of cut out. Wondering if that was my internet. But okay, so yeah, do you need me to make a dodge roll, or are we actually getting shot at?
not yet. They're incoming.
Okay.
So
Ballstorm.
Roland.
Oh, that's familiar music. That's music that gives me trauma.
Yes. Yes.
I'm just hesitant to continue.
If we can't have the other guy. Great work.
No.
It's okay. We'll go slowly.
Yeah. I mean,
Roland.
it's not like I didn't upload the other episode already. We're already missing one episode. So. Oops.
Roland, you are peering into the darkness.
Is the darkness peering back?
You don't sense any malefic will from the darkness. Just lots and lots of sand.
Luckily, does this ASC armor is itself contained, or will the sand get in all the nooks and crannies?
No,
Okay.
it is not self-contained.
Now I'm gonna get sand in my underpants. Great.
Oh no.
Oh. I kind of look towards the kid and be like, well, Do you know your way around the ship at all, or is it just going to be look down the corridor and hope we don't get lost?
It'll be that second one.
Well, I guess stick close, just because it's really dark in here. And I'm gonna attempt to find my way towards the bridge area of the ship.
I'm gonna have you do a test. See if you can navigate your way there.
All right. I'm gonna go with Ironclad strategy and man-at-arms, following my training that I had back when I was in, an actual military force to mark the way that you're going, so that way you don't get lost.
Okay.
Just every now and then, I'm just gonna kind of like carve a line into the wall.
Okay. Do so at a hindrance.
Okay.
It is so large that even as you proceed through doing it that way, as you mark walls, there's a chance you might never find that wall again.
Why does the Trotty have to make their ship so big?
I wonder why.
Big ship.
Alright,
Big people.
hey. So I believe that's 4 still?
So, as you wander through the dark, guided only by your little flashlight, Jaj just sort of casually wandering behind you, occasionally picking up bits of scrap and just being like, and then tossing it behind her, leading to very loud clanging sounds, to which the sound of skittering can be heard, clamoring away.
Oh, they're not spiders.
As you move through the ship, you're finding that you're better able to move through the tighter, compact areas, such as the ship's vents and its in between sections of its walls, easier than you are its main cavernous hallways. As you continue to move through, however, I want you to immediately make a skill roll. The floor gives out beneath you, and in that moment as you sink, try to grab for a ledge.
Falling.
Can I try to fall back to man-at-arms and precise targeting for my, muscle memory to kick in rather than having to think, oh god, I'm falling, grab something?
Yes.
And then grab the nearest one?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, and, hindrance or anything, or normal?
Just nominal.
Man, I'm dying.
Oof.
Well, as the very metal of the floor gives out from beneath you, you go to try and jump and avoid it, as it just gives way and plummets into the abyss. You fall, Roland. You
Can I
fall.
roll with my no-nonsense nature?
You fall for 20 meters before plummeting and hitting some sand very, very hard. You're going to take a brawl wound.
I'm dead. Will my armor help against that? Is this armor padded at all?
This is after your armor.
Okay. Ouch.
And with that, you look around as you slowly recover, your back hurting. You have found what looks like a control room.
Oh, that was lucky. He's gonna kind of grab it. He's looking around with the flashlight, just to, checking the corners, make sure there's no giant rats or anything. Checking the ceiling when he can, and all while holding back.
Your weak little flashlight isn't able to pierce too far into the darkness, and this space seems vast. You have gotten very, very lucky by landing on what you can only guess is a large pile of sand that's built up from a leak you can see on the coming through the walls onto what looks like a large command table.
I'm back. Don't know what happened.
Hey.
My bad roll actually helped me. But he's gonna kind of grab the lower's back and be like, God, I'm too old for this shit. I'm gonna kind of look up and what was that?
Above you in the dark, you can just sort of hear Ijaj calling out, "Hello? You alive, old man?"
Yeah, I'm alive. I found the command center. It's down here.
Damn. I saw that, buddy.
I heard that.
All right. I'm gonna keep going forward.
Try not to go too far just in case there's anything around here.
Meanwhile, back further up, Lonzo and Randall, you guys have entered the ship and find yourselves inside its walls.
Like in the walls versus in hallways?
In the walls. This is based on where you've entered. You have worked your way through them. And it's only after walking for quite some time, about 5 minutes, that you find you've come to what appears to be actual Zentradi hallways. The breadth and width of the size of these rooms is unimaginable. Your flashlights can't even reach to the other side and just stop in the middle of the darkness. You can find that your dear friends have left some rope here, which allows you to descend down to the floor.
Alrighty. Guess we'll follow them down.
Okay. As you climb down, you reach the bottom of these cavernous hallways and are able to proceed forward. The very structure creaking every couple of steps. Every now and again, it sounds like something somewhere is giving out, and you're hearing the faint echo in the distance.
All right. While we're moving through, I'm gonna send out radio pings, trying to see if I can establish communication with Roland.
You are able to.
Hey, Roland, we're in here with you. You want to guide us to where you are? We found your rope and climbed down, and now we're headed, whichever direction we headed from that.
Ow. Hey, Randall. Follow the markings on the wall. When I was going down from the rope, I headed down to the left, and I marked a line on the wall. I was marking those as I went along. It's going to be a little hard to see with how big the rooms are, but eventually I went into a vent, and the vent gave out. I'm currently in the Zentradi command room.
Roger that. We'll look around for the markings.
And just watch out, that first step's a 20-foot doozy, or 20-meter doozy.
Good to know.
Convenient follows convenient.
Yep, convenient follows convenient. Also, the kid didn't fall down with me. They're somewhere around here walking around, so if you see them, just make sure they're okay.
She's tough. I'm sure she's all right.
So, what are you guys doing?
You want to look around and find his markings and follow to where he is? I mean, I've got some rope, so we shouldn't have to fall.
Yeah, there's no reason for us not to try to catch up with him.
Okay. I'll let you both do a skill test in order to try and navigate, to try and find him. Meanwhile, back up to the surface, Magnus, you and Mills have managed to get far enough away that those ASC have stopped where you were, and they aren't pursuing you.
Whoop. You also wouldn't pop right when I take a bite.
Of course, always. And seeing that, he's like, okay, let's land this. And your ship sets down into the desert. But as it sets down into the desert, there's a dust cloud just over the horizon.
Uh-oh.
Mills just looks at you and is like, it's probably nothing. Definitely probably nothing. Anyway, Batches, how's the drinks coming along? Batches just yells out, the margaritas will be ready soon. Man, these no-no juice that adults drink sure is violently explosive. With that, you hear some fluttering and sparks and a little explosion come from down below.
Oh no. Where did he blow up?
Patches just yells out, kitchen is on fire! Kitchen is on fire! I need an adult.
I don't think I've ever heard Patches say that. I am genuinely afraid for y'all now.
Yeah, I try to. Can I even fit the kitchen?
Not really, but you can just kind of stick your hand in there.
Pat the fire out.
Pretty much. This fire, when you get down there, is kind of like, stove's on fire, and you just go, okay, put it out like a candle. Just lick your finger and just.
No big deal.
Nah, no big deal. But it's at this point you realize you haven't actually seen McFlanagan and his mate since you got back on board.
Uh-oh. Mills? Where is Flanagan at?
Well, he was just in the can. outside.
Did we?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we did. Well, congratulations. Your share of the profit just went up.
Double loop.
Did you wait? What? You guys left McFlanagan behind?
He did.
Wait, he died?
Meanwhile, somewhere in the desert, Flanagan and his friend are just wandering around like, didn't we leave the ship somewhere around here?
Okay.
Why are those ASC fighters circling the area?
Because they suck.
Still waiting on those test results. Lonzo, Randall.
Righto.
Oh, so, yeah. Sorry, you switched, and I kind of forgot.
Triple oops.
Well, that and I had to refresh roll 20 to get it to pay attention to me. So let's see. Omnipresent and scanning sweep, and I'll just limit it to 5 dice.
Yep. And then this will be at a hindrance.
So that's we need 5s or 6s on a hindrance.
You need 6s. Okay.
I got 1.
Hey. Ooh.
Yeah, I only used close quarters.
So as you guys are wandering around, you see one of these markings and try to follow it. And you find yourself descending deep, deep into the depths of this vessel. Soon, you're walking through more sand than you are ship. The air closing in around you. The stale smell of death lingering. And some sort of choking fume on the wind. Fortunately, your armor protects you somewhat. But as you move further down, you seem to be wondering, where is Roland? How far could he have traveled?
Yeah, so I mean, once we start getting to the stinky bits, I'm gonna reach out to Roland on the radio. Hey, did you pass through what smells like a morgue where the refrigeration got turned off?
I don't think I did. Did I, GM?
Nope.
I'm just gonna be like, no. Did you follow the markings?
I mean, I tried to. Apparently, they weren't as clear as you thought they were. Crap.
Okay, to be fair, it is really dark.
We'll turn back and see if we can find the last marking again and try again.
All right. Just be safe. I did hear skittering.
Unfortunately, as you travel down, you can no longer find any more of his markings, leading to you having a hard time retracing your path through this winding maze. Not only that,
Well, hang on.
I hear that the sand is caving in on sections even now, cutting off and shifting certain areas.
I've got omnipresent and scanning sweep, so I should have a somewhat decent chance of being able to backtrack. At least seeing, yes, I've been here before.
Well, try and navigate. Try another skill test.
All right. And I'll probably botch it, but hey. I'm going to use the same skills because they still apply. I did it. at the same level too. Which, hey, yeah.
Okay. Wow, this was just a nominal, so this was okay.
Oh, if it's at nominal, then I did better than I thought. Yay!
Yeah, you got 0 successes instead of 0 successes.
Oh, I thought 4 is passed on a nominal.
No, falls on an edge.
Okay.
So, as you're wondering, you swear you're going the right way, and Randall's just like, yeah, it's definitely this way, Lonzo. And Lonzo, you're just like, ah.
Man,
Remember, I spent a lot of time alone with Mills.
I'm supposed to be the LT here, man. Like,
Oh,
you're
ow. Oh, I'm gonna pay for last session now, aren't I?
Oh man.
And as you're moving, you hear the skittering in the dark.
Skaven!
I believe there are rats of unusual size in here.
And look out for those spiders.
Skeet skeet.
Oh no.
He's going to eat man flesh. Yes.
Men think die. Get walk the door.
However, as you try and work your way through, you find yourself bursting through a small little vent into a vast cavernous area which seems to be filled with giant stacks
Of?
crates.
Ooh, loot. The giant stacks.
Stumbled into a cargo bay. Maybe.
So
blow it up.
So does the cargo bay? Do the crates have writing on them that we can read? Markings.
No. You know who can read them? Magnus Vermagnuson.
I should have taken that Zentradi correspondence course. And our radios don't penetrate out to the real world from here, correct?
Man, if only like the ASE had invested in having like gauntlets on like our suits on the suits, so they could like just scan and translate shit and do whatever. Like you could have like an entire like clone troopers have stuff like that in Star Wars.
I mean,
they don't even have flashlights.
I mean, I think my phone can do that.
Yeah, that's kind of the point.
Oops.
To be fair to the AS, to be fair to all those, they actually spent money on their products.
On the who?
All of those other groups, they actually spent real, amounts of money on making sure that their products could actually, perform and do multiple things. ASC armor just seems to be like, you don't die.
Okay, because like you said to be fair, and I was just like, wait, is he defending the ASE?
No, I'm defending the other ones because the ASC doesn't spend a goddamn dime on their equipment. I'm pretty sure it's all free. You're gonna pay us to make the armor.
Your sentence began by defending a group that was not under attack.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I thought you were talking about the ASC too. I was like, wait a minute, what? He's talking.
Yeah, I was confused by that too. But just remember, ASC cares about you.
Oh yes.
No,
and
it doesn't.
But of
just
course.
like how Joseph Stalin loves you.
Yeah, the ASC. If the ASC cared about anyone, then they wouldn't have gotten the Logan.
Also, remember this. You're less likely to die in an ASC mecha than in any other mecha.
Oh, a Logan has a higher survivability rate than any Veritech ever.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. It's not like there's only one pilot who's ever survived piloting them.
Out of all of them.
Out of.
Because all the Logans died in one battle.
Oh my god.
Magnus,
Yeah.
there should be a new handout appearing for you.
Where at? Is it a
See under the
transmission three?
Sujahal.
Yeah,
Yes.
we got transmission 3.
You received transmission 3 as it comes over the radio. As Mills is desperately trying to get into well, he's trying to get into the kitchen to try and turn off the gas, and at the same time, Patches is just wandering around like, this no-no juice is really awful. Because Patches seems to, under the instructions of Mills, been working on making some alcoholic beverages, margaritas specifically, and Mills seems to have dressed Patches up with a sombrero and a fake mustache.
Alright, I didn't necessarily hear all that. I was reading the third transmission. But yeah.
However, as you're reading that, Magnus,
Oh no. Storm type chat. Your balls.
oh no.
Don't go into Magnet Stream and read that.
I can't see it. I'm not sure I want to see it.
You don't.
You don't. You don't.
It's anything like the last exchange you had.
It's worse.
So,
Just keep saying no juice.
that's good. No.
Oh no.
You sick motherfuckers. So, Roland,
Yes.
you seem to have found yourself inside a massive control room.
Yep.
What do you do?
Well, I'm gonna look for an on switch to see if I can remotely start the ship from here.
No.
Hey, I can help things, but I don't know this. Roland's just an infantry guy.
Well, you're faced with 3 problems.
Mhm.
1, the switch is the size of you.
Yep.
2, there are many switches separated by vast distances that require you to climb down and go across and go up. And 3rd, you got reeds and trotty. That should be like gobbledygook.
It's word vomit, really.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But damn, the Zentradi all speak English.
Oh no, that's not. It's not Magnus. It's not vampire. It's not Bela Lugosi
Oh
vampire.
my gosh. Well played. Well played.
Well,
All right. Can I? I'm gonna. Do I at least have a short band radio?
Yeah, you can reach up to. You can't reach up to Magnus and Mills, but you can probably reach up to Roland.
All right. I'm gonna inform Roland that we're fucking lost. I'm gonna ask him if he knows Zentradi. All right. Roland, come in, Roland. Do you hear us?
yeah. The fuck does this button do? What's up?
Yeah, we're lost. We just keep finding sand, and we're hearing some strange shit down here. So we're probably gonna get attacked by horrible monsters. So we're probably all about to die.
Well, I kind of figured that since I fell down, 20 meters.
We need to come up with a way to triangulate each other's positions real quick.
Well, I'm in the command room, so we can probably use the radios to triangulate.
All right.
Do we have RDF equipment or radio directional finding equipment? RDF means something else here.
If you bring it with you.
Well, I mean, the suits maybe have it. Mine might. It actually, works.
Yeah, your suit might. I'm gonna check
If
that.
it doesn't, it's called a heroic move.
Heroic move to turn on the
Show me
lights
your
in the
move.
ship.
Also, Roland, do you know any Zentradi at all?
I didn't even learn Korean when I was in Korea.
Okay, I was just checking.
Oh, he doesn't know
'Cause we can't
Magnus
read
for
any of this.
Magnuson? Come on.
Well, if we can find some way to get the power on, I could possibly try to maybe use the communication system in the ship.
So the armor that you are wearing, Randall, according to the description, comes with standard. They come standard with a full suite of comms and visual sensors.
I would think that means I could do at least some basic radio direction finding. So
Yeah.
if basically if I can get even just a 100 meters or so apart and get a bearing on Roland, and then get a bearing on point A, then get a bearing off point B, that'll give me the straight line direction I need to head, and we can check it occasionally as we move around.
Well, yes, you're definitely within 100 meters of him.
No, I mean, basically what I need to do is I need to get a bearing on him from point A and then move, about 100 meters away. Basically go from one end of the cargo area to the other and get another bearing. That'll tell me where he is in a straight line. The trick is then navigating the ship to get to that straight line point.
Right, well, that's fairly easily accomplished. You can get on that. As the area you're moving through is kind of like the Area 51 storage out of that last terrible Indiana Jones movie. There are just crates stacked high into the air. Almost like little mountains. And you are walking along the bottom floor of that. And as you guys are walking, Lonzo.
Yo.
As you're shining your flashlight about, you think for a moment you see some flashing green and red eyes down in the distance.
Well, it looks like Lonzo's going to figure out pretty soon what it felt like to be Joshua and Suzume. In other words, victims of an especially extreme type of sexual assault.
Wow. Hey, Grubby. Once you recover, I have a question.
I'll never forget the Viva campaign when I shouted, "Oh, they've been kidnapped by the R word."
You did that, not me. Now, you find
Lonzo,
there's
heads up.
some crates that have been
Rapist.
spilled over. As you're walking and you have to exchange parts to try and go around, there's some crates that have been spilled over. Out of them are, some giant satchel packs, some clothes. Looks like an ammo clip.
Okay. These are like Zentradi-sized guns, of course?
Yes.
Okay. What direction did I think that I saw the the eyes?
Behind you.
Oh no.
I'm gonna shine a flashlight down behind me and have my M21 ready.
Okay. What was your question, Roland?
Does it look like these consoles are getting any power at all?
How are you gonna test that to find out?
I'm gonna shoulder check one of the buttons.
Heads up.
I'm sorry, I just saw.
Yeah.
No power, no electricity in the slightest.
Oh, he's gonna kind of get up and he's gonna kind of rub his shoulder and kind of look around. He's like, "Oh, this sucks." And start trying to work his way up into that. Maybe up into that command deck area. That little part that overlooks the actual like command room.
Yep. You can work your way there. You can kind of hear movement in the vents above you in the ceiling.
No. Does it sound like
Hello?
shit, or does it sound like skittering?
It sounds a little heavy
A little.
to be. It sounds a little heavy to be a Jaj.
Oh, I'm not gonna say anything in that case. He knows his stuff. Don't give away your position if you don't think they're it's a friendly.
It sounds way too heavy to be a Jaj as it gets closer.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and stealth up real quickly. Just kind of crouch down, get into a corner and kind of maybe make myself a little foxhole in the sand. If that's okay.
Oh, this next part's going to be fun. So, back on the surface. Magnus, you've put out some fires. You've dealt with Patches wearing sombrero. And Mills has basically decided he's going to just sit around until things have just chilled out. What do you have to say to that, though?
Has anything happened on the radar as far as are they still in that same area? We go pick up the other two yet?
Well, it definitely seems like the ASC are gone. Their radar contacts disappearing back towards the direction that their base was.
Well then, yeah. I vote we go back.
Okay. Well, at that point, Mills is just like, controls are yours, just don't fly us into a dam.
What?
You heard me.
What that last part?
You heard me.
Yeah, don't fly into a dam, Magnus.
Where were we?
Damn it.
We find one out here.
You never know. Sometimes, dams can be inside your heart.
Sometimes dams find you. But that's in Russia.
Do you just... Is this a fear that you have? No, there's one behind you.
No. It's a metaphor.
This is the part where Mills talks down to Magnum. Like he doesn't know basic ideas because he's an alien.
I flick Mills into a wall and proceed to fly back.
You flick Mills into a wall? How hard?
Like,
Hard enough to kill him?
no.
Aw, we
Maybe.
need a new commander.
Maybe?
Yeah, it'd be a toss-up between Roland and Lonzo, and it's probably going to end up being Roland. Unless he dies. Unless both of us die. In that case,
Magnum can
just got a ship.
squish y'all. I'm pretty sure if he takes control, pirate style, defaults goes to him.
I mean, we'd have to get it on our mecha, and he has our mecha right now, so he's at the strongest position in power at the current moment. Unless we
Yeah.
get the
Storm,
landing
we just
ship.
shoot him.
I'll just shoot him with the assault rifle.
You know, I got an idea, Storm.
How don't
I'll
tickle
use
my
rogue
foot.
move. I'll use my rogue move to toss a death frisbee at him.
Nope. Screw that shit. No
Don't worry.
heroic.
Don't worry, the death frisbee would have to do like what, 4 mecha damage to actually hurt me.
Yeah, I don't think they can physically kill you without mecha. Anyway,
Yeah, but I flick him into a wall. Do I need to? Are you gonna make me roll something?
Did you answer how hard?
I mean, decently hard.
What does that mean? On a scale of 1 to 10,
I'm not
10 being
trying
death.
I'm not trying to kill him.
like between giving him a back injury or making him tomato soup, which are you doing?
Closer to back injury.
Maybe a bruise.
All right, you just flick him and he just goes, "Ah!" Shithead.
Tomato soup.
And you head on back. As you're flying over the desert, Mills is keeping an eye out to see visually if you can see your 2 lost compatriots. But it's just a lot of orange and brown. There's no real sign of them, even as you pull back to the entrance of a sunken vessel. Well, they're dead. Like I said, less shares for everyone. Now,
I wonder if they were captured.
and not my problem. They should have read their contract. Not responsible for people getting captured. At this point, Magnus, you remember that the contracts he's had people sign have literally been a napkin saying you work for me.
Are you wanting me to kill him?
Why not? Some of your other compatriots already went trigger happy on your friendly NPCs. Yes, make less allies, everyone. That's exactly what the GM has set you up for.
Hey.
Hey.
When your allies are cannibals, you blow them up.
With death frisbees.
With death frisbees, yeah. Oh yeah, death frisbees. What's that, Gina?
Stream, y'all. So, down in the arse end of the ship, you shine a light and keep moving. At this point, you've been able to cover the 100 meters moving through this little maze.
All right. So I'm gonna take bearings on Roland.
Yep. So you're able to get that, and with that, you've got your direction. But it is unfortunately... Well, you've got a direction.
Right.
As you said, the hard part is navigating.
Right. And I now know he's X many meters. He's approximately X many meters that way through, and that way is got to be through that bulkhead. Of course, there's no door there.
No. But you are able to move through the walls. But before you move out of this area...
Just no clip through walls.
Oh yeah, Robotech runs on Skyrim engine. So as you get ready to move out of this engine, out of this area, skittering can be heard louder.
Yeah, I'm gonna unholster my pistol.
Yep. Lonzo is right behind you, covering your 6. Fortunately, Lonzo's flashlight is weaker than yours.
Hey, this flashlight,
Uh-oh.
I made particular care not to get an ASC flashlight.
It definitely sounds like it's all around you now.
Well, when I see it, I'll shoot it.
Oh, you see it.
Oh.
As you turn your head and look up to the tops of the crates, you can see some very large creatures. Rats is not the correct term. They are not rats. They are rodent-like, but they ain't from this planet.
Fucking
no, they're
Centrati
giant
rats.
No, they're giant ferrets.
Body rats. No.
These things look easily 5 times your size. Like you would need a mecha to step on them with.
Yeah, we probably should not shoot at these things. They haven't attacked us yet, so
They are definitely eyeing you off like prey, though.
But
they are just
naked white rat.
so yeah, we're gonna try and move out of here and at least get into a more defensible position.
What's in this room?
crates. Giant stacks of crates.
Are any of the crates open?
1 or 2. You can find some tipped over ones that have burst open.
What is in the crates?
Some what you would guess are like ration packs, clothes. Mostly sundries, not really any military equipment.
Randall, it might be a good time to triangulate Roland's position so we can.
Well, I mean, I've got the position, so it's just a matter of we got to try and get there, and it's and I point in the direction of where he is.
About right. I just brought up the rats on the stream. Yeah, those. Now they're on.
It's gonna be fun.
How fast are you guys moving?
I would suggest not running. Move at a steady, confident pace.
Full sprint, go.
What about Lonzo?
Yeah, I'm just gonna follow. I'm gonna do the same.
Okay. As you move towards the bulkhead to try and enter into the walls where you're hoping that they can't fit, one of them crosses your path very slowly, and you get to really see its size. These rodents are like Tyrannosaurus Rex sized.
I just watched Jurassic Park with my daughter.
Yeah, you know what to expect then.
I am not going to go hide in the toilet.
Zentradi toilet, probably not a great place to hide.
Don't drown.
I
It's
think we're
more like
fine.
a swimming pool. All right. I'm gonna roll to see if they pounce you. As you move slowly and cautiously towards the hole in the wall, you get inside.
I didn't exactly say
Just as you
slowly.
get inside. You get inside. But just as you get inside, you can hear them and see them just smash into the wall and dent it a bit as one of these tiny little verminous arms, all thin and twitchy and gross, reaches in and just tries to grab Randall.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot it. Try for just one round to to sting it so it'll reach back.
Yep. You fire off your round and it just echoes through the entire ship.
That's why I'm in armor, so I have ear protection.
Our dear Roland. It does retreat its hand, and you're able to go, by the way. Roland, you literally making a foxhole in the middle of a bridge?
Infantry tactics die hard.
Okay.
I was gonna do it as like part of an obscure action.
Yes. Do an obscure, and then while you're doing that obscure, make an observation.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna roll ambush tactics and blend in for the foxhole obscure.
Yep.
Hey, I got a success. And then I'm gonna roll for the observation with man at arms. And do you think precise targeting would work for this one?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, one success.
Well, that's not enough.
I was totally not noticed.
Well,
Good.
back on the surface, Magnus.
Yes.
What are you doing? The area seems to be clear. There's no particular enemies around, and you've got a section of the hull underneath the sand that you know of.
I guess if we can go back for now, I mean, surely they won't just be straight up executed right now. Let's go land next to where we know the ship is and see if I can find a way into the ship.
Okay. I'll ask you to make a skill test that'll cover both finding a way in and digging your way in. And you know what? You've got Zentradi-sized shovels, so I'll give you an edge.
Good. Okay, let's go with I can fix it. And
Yeah.
Man at Arms?
Sure.
Did the wrong thing. Yeet.
Okay. You're able to get inside, but the impact of what happens is you actually end up falling through a section of the hull while you think you're digging out a bit of sand to where there should be a hatch. Some meters away from where your human-sized friends entered. And you fall straight through. You fall straight down to the bottom. This is a massive ship, so you plummet, let's see, how many meters before you reach the bottom of where that great ravine is?
I wave as he goes by.
You don't hear this, but you don't see this, but you sure as hell hear this. Because when he breaches and falls through, the impact rocks the entire vessel. And it just creaks like the whole thing's just going to collapse at any moment.
Oh, that's fun.
Magnus, you actually dropped down about 50 meters.
We.
Vibes
Um,
and trolley tall.
You hurt. You hurt bad. You take a mecha damage.
Okay, we're good.
That's like 2 brawl wounds for you.
No, I got armor. We're good.
Oh, okay, you're in the power armor. Wait, which armor were you in?
No, not power armor. The regular battle armor.
Regular battle armor, so you'll take 1 mecha. So that soaks 1 of the damage. So yeah. But if that's the case, unfortunately your armor is now wrecked.
Wait, what?
Your armor is now wrecked. Broken. Smasho.
What kind of armor was it again? It was just battle armor,
The
right?
heavy armor.
What do you mean by heavy armor? You mean like the...
Yeah, the Zentradi battle armor, the one that has 1 mecha for its armor.
Oh. Okay. Is armor is body armor in this game like ablative?
I'll discuss it with you later.
Well, that's kind of my question right now. I'm just kind of like, what?
You fall. You fall quite some ways. Your armor soaks the impact, but now it's broken. And you find yourself somewhere in the midsections of the ship, Magnus. Well, you should be somewhere near the main cafeteria, the main mess hall. Somewhere between that and the auxiliary sort of facilities for living. So, what are you doing, Magnus?
I don't know. Let's look around with light.
What light?
My armor have
That-
a light on it.
That tiny ASC flashlight he has strapped to his pinky.
There we go.
I'm not sure Zentradi armor actually does have lights. The Zentradi are cheaper than ASC, and that says something.
But more battle pods survived than Logan's.
There's that.
Oh man.
Okay. So, we have one lost group that is now heading towards with Randall and Lonzo heading towards Roland. You guys can make another navigation, this time with advantage.
Oh, okay. Crap, my character sheet is minimized again. Okay, so I don't really have a lot of skills for this. I guess the psychoanalysis has a cost of analysis with the benefit of insight, so I guess I'll use that as in a synergy with close quarters for a total of 5 dice.
Okay.
All right.
Yep, so you're able to move your way forward, and eventually you find yourself moving through some vents, and you just, as you go forward and you follow the signal, you come out towards where there is this large, sort of roundish chamber, and it seems to overlook a greater chamber. And there's perspex glass all around it. It seems relatively small and self-contained. You would guess it's maybe an observation? An observation room? And so that's where you've come out.
Okay, cool. Are there giant T-Rex sized rats in here?
No,
Aw, we lost our pets.
but there is an Ijaj.
Is she of the living?
Yes, she's of the living.
Are you sure?
I mean, knowing
She's not a zombie.
knowing her, she's probably found some snacks and set up an operations room of her own. She's a resourceful little rat.
Oh, no, she is hiding. There's a small little pillar that seems to go straight up towards some sort of strange-looking console / binoculars that overviews the chamber. It's very odd designs, and try to have some odd shit. But she's hiding behind that.
All right, so when we see her, and I'm not gonna call out because if she's hiding, that seems dumb. But I'm wave at her and kind of make the universal shrug. What the fuck?
And she just you can see her in your distance of your flashlight. She's telling you to shush, and then she's signaling something at the flashlight
Turn the
with
light
her
off.
own flashlight.
Turn the light off. You said you saw Jurassic Park. Turn the light off.
I have full visual sensors, so yeah, turning the light off and going NVG.
Yep. As you approach her, she's like, "Shh, it's in there with him."
Is it a giant rat?
No.
Okay.
Oh God, it's a tentacle monster.
Oh, we're in hentai now.
Oh, what?
Ugly bastard
Someone
tags.
should have told me that. We would not be doing this to Roland then.
Ugly bastard tags.
Magnus.
Hmm.
Zentradi armor is simple and designed with few comforts. Only a giant-sized Zentradi can wear it.
Yeah, I
Blah
just
blah
read
blah
that.
blah. So it doesn't have any lights, but I'm going to assume it at least has the basic amount of lights inside its helmet that sort of just light up. So you've got a very faint level of light. But they are fully environmental. As you proceed forward, Magnus, checking around this area, you come through what is the main mess hall of this former Zentradi vessel. And you can see what it's like. This vessel, when it fell, clearly they weren't at full combat readiness. The corpses of your fellow Zentradi still sit in their seats where they died on impact, right where they were eating.
Straight up. Like just imagining like one's got his arm up, like about to take a bite of something.
You can imagine that, but that ain't what happening. Some of their skeletons look odder than the rest, like they've been subject to something different to just death on impact. A lot of their flesh, for some of them, definitely looks like it's not just decayed, but been eaten.
Rat?
Hard to say.
How kind of eaten?
What is there a Zentradi word for the particular genus of space rodent that is infested the ship? Skeet skeet?
Yes.
I was
Yes,
waiting
we'll
for
call
that.
them skeets.
Oh
It doesn't look like the work of skeets.
no. Oh man.
Guys, I'm getting flashbacks of cannibals and Trotty. Send help.
And as you move through, you pass through. Right, are you heading north or south?
Can I get them over comms?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody? Brett? What's going on?
Do we hear that on our radios?
Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
Where are you at?
Yes, you do. Yeah, like the you get some staticky interference with it, but he is close enough that he's coming through okay.
How loud are our radios?
Not loud enough for what's in there to be disturbed by them.
All right. So Lonzo pipes up. She's like, "This is Lonzo."
Where are you at?
It's some sort of observation room. I'm here with Randall and Ajaj. Apparently, Roland's in another room, and there's something in there with him, though I don't know what it is.
Roland, upon hearing that's gonna just kind of stop moving entirely and kind of whisper into his microphone, "What?"
One moment. Like, and then Alonzo turns to Josh. He's just like, he holds up the radio to her. He's just like, maybe you want to inform him.
It's big, and it's below you.
That's what she said. That's what she literally said.
And I'm just gonna kind of stop moving and kind of just, turn off my flash, make sure my flashlight's off, and I'm just gonna kind of sit in my foxhole. That is, very crudely made, but it's a foxhole. It exists. And just wait for something to attempt to jump at me, and then I'll just gonna spray it with a belt of ammunition. If it does come out.
So, Randall, as you're watching into that observation room while they're talking and whispering over the radio, you can see something moving in there.
What do I see? Just general movement, or?
With your night vision, you can see it. It's definitely obscured. It's around the other side of the room, but you see a very large tail at one end and some claws at the other end. And now this thing looks like it's the size of Magnus.
Someone's cat got loose.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, on the radio, I've got movement, and it's got a tail and claws, and it's the size of a Zentradi.
On my way. I start heading toward him.
Okay.
Would I actually know what this ship, like, where stuff on the ship would be?
This class of vessel, definitely. So this is an assault carrier, like the Tuvok. So it's designed primarily as just a massive carrier. It's 90% storage bays. So navigating it's pretty easy in some regards. Not so much because it's been trash-olaed, but you're able to just crawl yourself through the dark. But your instincts are telling you that you ain't alone. You're being watched.
Okay, well, I'm trying to go that way.
Okay, what are you guys doing?
Well, I'm gonna keep hiding. There's a giant thing with a tail and, claws that's the size of, Magnus. I don't want to piss it off. Or get noticed.
Okay. Magnus. You end up passing through a little garbage area, recycling plant of the ship. Smells completely like ass. This is where the sewerage used to go and all the waste materials. And of course, there are some rats. Or, Zentradi rats. Fortunately, they don't bother you. They try to take a chunk out of you. But you can just kick them away. but only one of them is really brave enough to even try and take a bite out of you. The others, they eye you, and then after a moment they scatter, fearful of you.
Wish.
You're gonna squish a skeet?
Would you like to capture a skeet as a pet?
We must train an army of skeet.
Yes. Yes.
We can always feed prisoners to the skeet.
That
Yes.
sounds
Well,
horrific.
Yes, that's what we'll
unleash them on
do.
the ASC.
Great.
We'll feed all the prisoners and then unleash them at on top of we'll just send them out to attack the ASC.
I'll love him and I'll pet him and I'll.
Well, as you proceed even further on, trying to get towards because it sounded like they described sort of like the command center. You know, having been commander previously, it's kind of what it sounded like. There's only a few places in the ship where those kind of observation rooms are. So you go forward, and you find yourself passing through a Zentradi lavatory.
Now he's gonna get eaten.
Yeah, Magnus, make an observation chest.
Say chest.
Yeah, observation chest.
Make an observation test.
Check. Test. Chest.
A check test, a chest.
A check test. A chest.
Aha. Say man at arms.
Yep. Nope.
Like any
So-
minor skills work on this.
As you move forward, you feel a presence watch you. And then, from out of the side, a massive creature pounces into you, forcing you into one of the lavatory stalls as it claws and rips at you. You're in combat now.
Rapid fire and man at arms. Let's go.
Okay. So how are you fighting this thing? It has gotten you pinned to a toilet, and it is biting and clawing and slashing.
Can I pull out the shotgun and?
Yep.
It's giving you the swirlies.
Okay. So you try desperately to pull out your shotgun. And you kind of flub it around, and it ends up getting whacked out of your hand across basically a few toilet stalls as this thing grabs you, sinks its jaws into your shoulder, and hurls you through the opposite direction through some of the toilet stall walls. You can see this thing snarling right above you. You don't recognize this particular creature. But you do recognize one thing about it. It only has a single eye, with 3 irises.
I was right, it's someone's cat that got infected by protoculture.
Oh no.
Yes, this is the fight music we're going with, by the way.
Freaking Spice Girls.
Yeah, I have it deadly.
Yeah, anybody in the stream can't hear it, but it's playing. Wannabe by Spice Girls is playing.
Magnus, you take, what is that? 3, 6, 9 damage. So you have resist 5, so at that level you can only take 5. So now what are you doing, Magnus? It's just throwing you through a toilet wall. And you lost your shotgun to the other side of the toilet.
Gonna dive, pick up the shotgun, and try again.
Yep.
Yeet.
Okay. So Magnus, you dive past it, desperately going for the shotgun, finding it half sunk in a toilet seat that still had some Zentradi excrement in it, and that backed up when the ship crashed. You grab it and it's filthy and disgusting, but you're wearing armor and gloves, and you just load at it as this thing goes to Velociraptor jump at you and blast it straight in the chest. And then it gets straight back up and snarls at you.
Well, I think too. How many successes did you count there for that one?
That's 4 successes. Are you in your
I
element?
think I might be in my element. Looking it up right now. Forget what assaulter does.
You'll be in your element. Okay. Well, if that's the case, that still happens. As it snarls at you, you just prepare to fire the shotgun again. And it tries to whip you with its tail, but you just manage to just dodge it as it swipes at your head before trying to jump back at you off a wall. What a wall jump it is. To try and get at your head. Next round.
Shotgun.
Oof.
Action shotgun.
So, you fire another round and you kind of graze it this time as it tries to get on top of you, onto your shoulders, digging its claws into your side and abdomen as it tries to latch onto you and tries to get its jaws around your helmet. Oh, it does. It starts to crush and rip off your helmet, breaking it. And you've still got a little bit of light from the internal lights of your helmet that are still working, but you've lost the top of it, essentially.
Okay.
And you're going to take another 5 damage. That's after I've done the calculations of resist. So I'm not even sure if this thing's hurting you, but it's definitely clawing at you. Because don't you have natural armor or something?
Yeah, I have. It has to do mecha damage, right?
Yeah, it keeps getting close, but not quite. And it's
So
yet
in
to use any
reality-
of its equipment.
So in reality, it's just annoying the shit out of him right now. Like a very rowdy cat.
Like a very rowdy cat.
I was gonna say,
Yes.
like, we're getting attacked by a really big dog.
No, you're getting attacked by it. The thing is just a cat.
It's like a chihuahua trying to maul you, except the chihuahua is a velociraptor and your size.
So then it's just a velociraptor.
Yeah, it's. Yeah.
It's like a chihuahua, but it's a velociraptor, so it's just a velociraptor.
Yeah, that's why I kind of said just being attacked by a dog.
Yeah.
Like
It's like a
I'd say
German
more-
Shepherd just jumped you.
Yeah, I've been forget what kind of dog it was, but when I was younger, I got attacked by a dog. It was kind of awkward.
Kind of awkward. That's a description. So
I mean, I was attacked by worse, but luckily there was actually it was over there in my grandparents' barn, the tobacco stalk, which kind of helped.
okay. At the other end of the ship, as you guys are observing the room that has Roland and the creature in it, you guys can hear gunfire. And in the moment, Randall, you're able to see the creature just stand up, massive and vicious in its size. And a bunch of sand comes off of it. And then it just goes to move towards an exit.
Yep, I'm gonna let it go.
Roland is hiding in his foxhole.
Yeah,
Make a check to see how well you've obscured yourself.
Okay.
I guess around that time, Lonzo's gonna get on the radio and tell Magnus that one is on the move. Got the attention of something.
Let him come.
All right, so I got an idea,
You.
here, Jim. So I got an idea, Jim.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm going to use my tactical action here to help me.
Yep.
I'm going to do one action to obscure myself, and then the other action to redirect it by throwing a rock down the way it's already going to make noise.
Okay.
To hide me from it. Right, so,
Okay.
First roll for obscure, I'm gonna use blend in and hunker down. Because I'm not moving. I'm just kind of ducking my head down further and further below my sand line. So 3 there. And then I'm going to use ambush tactics and precise targeting to redirect it to, continue going away from me. With a very good rock throw. If that's okay.
Oh yeah, just roll.
2 redirects, so it's got 2 less successes at least. I got 3.
So
It didn't notice me at all. Thanks, GM.
yeah, that's what you believe.
Yeah, it's going away from me. It's going to keep going that way. It's not going to turn around at all, and I won't have to unload an entire belt of APIT into it.
Those of you in the control room, Josh, Alonzo, Randall, you see a different story.
I came to laugh.
Shut the fuck up, Magnum. You lost an episode. You don't get to say anything to me this time.
It goes to move away, Randall, Alonzo, and then it ducks back up to try and get at Roland from above.
Oh yeah, we warned him.
Well, at least I'm not ambushed.
Roland, move.
Moving! I'm gonna turn my flashlight on and start sprinting towards that command deck area with the observation things.
Yep. And you just start sprinting, and it tries to grab at you. So you guys are now in this combat as well.
Oh, yay.
That includes those of you in the observation deck.
Awesome.
Okay.
Hang on, can I have your tactical actions real quick?
Communications phase.
going to run away. I'm going to defend, and if I can get a tactical action, I want to redirect this thing.
This is the
Look,
same
you
kind of thing
attack
that's attacking
Quackens every
Magnus,
round.
right?
What was that, Grubey?
What was that, Storm?
This is the same kind of creature that's attacking Magnus, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, yeah, we can't fight it.
That's why I want to run away.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe the assault rifle might sting it. I don't think my pistol's going to do much.
It just took a
Well-
shotgun, and I could kill tanks with shotguns. So
Yeah, his shotgun.
Oh, you
With
actually hit it.
less.
Oh, you actually hit it with the shotgun. I
I
was
hit it
thinking.
with 6 successes, which I've killed a tank with less successes before.
Oh
so-
shit! Yeah, no, this is mecha damage.
Yeah, you're gonna have to like the only thing I can think of is to like
If
shoot
we
it in
pull
the
all
eye.
fire. I mean, we actually. Oh, actually, I can do that. I think I can do that, guys.
Yeah, like that's kind of the only thing I can think of.
Well, because I've got a Deadeye.
Ooh,
Yeah. But remember, you have the tactical actions. You can use them every round.
Yep, which is why I'm going to abuse the shit out of them.
Okay, so I have one pool of dice for the one eating Magnus.
Mhm.
We'll call that Tickles. And we've got another pool of dice for the one after Roland. We'll call that Scratches.
Now, I'm going to continue running and going to also shoot and defend against it, and then probably redirect to get them if you guys don't mind. You going to do anything there, Londo, or just going to watch me die?
I mean, I guess I could tell you I could support you by using Rally Cry to tell you to shoot it in the eye.
Don't worry,
A cost of communication with the benefit of embolden.
don't worry. I'll take care
Yay.
of George in here.
I thought that was Tickles.
I'll love him and pet him. Doc,
I mean, as long as this thing doesn't have too much mecha armor, we should be able to maybe possibly start hurting it. But yeah, main goal is to increase distance from this thing.
What about you, Randall? What's the plan?
I'm gonna stay out of the way, and I'm gonna see if I can't maybe come up with a tactical advantage that we can maybe get over this thing.
Unless you can find like a Zentradi-sized gun and point it at it.
You know, I'm gonna try and use my brains because that's more my area, and it'll play to my disposition and demeanor of analyst and calm. So,
And while you haven't had a lot of time to study this, you're reasonably confident you're smarter than it. I mean, you're probably not, but you're confident that you are.
well, I mean, it doesn't need much brains to eat us. So, take sharks for example.
Imagine a shark with the intelligence of a dolphin.
Well, that's just a supervillain.
That's called an orca.
Yeah, that's called an orca.
That's an orca. Okay.
The terrorist of the ocean.
Free Willy, more like Terrorist Willy.
Where the fuck did this tangent come out of? Okay. Anyway,
It'll call
I'm
it
going to
Killer
at the
Whale
end
for
of your
nothing.
communications phase. You're out of time for that. Support phase.
I guess my actions would fall under support, unless
So assist, obscure, or observe actions.
Say again?
Assist, observe, or obscure actions.
definitely going to be observe on my part because I'm taking a look around, seeing if I can find anything that will give us a tactical advantage.
Does watching my bullets kill this thing count as an observe action? Sorry.
I think killing it counts as a killing it action.
Yeah, you gotta wait for the opposite for that.
Tough crowd.
I normally don't go in this phase. So do I go ahead and roll dice?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So
So
I'm
you roll dice for the support action.
I'm gonna use my omnipresence and scanning sweep, and like I said, this should be in my element, so that should help.
Okay. Yep.
Go ahead and use a
There you go.
burnout.
Okay.
The 2 5s should, huh?
So you get 2 5s, which are successes, and then you get 2 4s, which are successes. So you've got the stand in the room. You've got the room that you're currently in, which is an observation room. It looks like some of the glass is broken in the corner to lead out into that room. Just tiny little hole, like something like a meteorite flew through it or something. It looks like there's 3 entrances or exits to the main room that Roland is in. They seem to lead into the cavernous hallways around. There's a door behind you as well, which you can only presume will lead out somewhere. At the same time, there's the vent that you came through, which probably used to circumvent and get to around.
That busted glass. Is there any chance that we could maybe concentrate some fire on it and do a guillotine?
It's only a small bit of broken glass of this observation post, but there's always the potential to do that.
I mean, small is relative here. We're inside a Zentradi vessel.
So small here would be, it's about 5 meters.
All right, so I'm
About
gonna
a
tap.
5 meter radius.
I'm gonna tap Alonzo on the shoulder and point at the glass and say, "Hey, you think you can hit that with the rifle in a way that'll cause it to guillotine Scratchy over there?"
Could always give it a shot.
Better than dying doing nothing.
Okay. Anyone else in the spore phase? Okay, you continue to scream. Lonzo, anything in the support phase?
I'm gonna wait for the ops phase. I think
Okay.
that's when I'm gonna need to guillotine it.
Ops phase. Magnus, the one in the bathroom, is just continuing to get on you, and you throw it off as you just sort of push your back into a wall, and it just howls and growls. And while it's doing that, it smashes a bit of a Zentradi toilet, which just showers the area in backed up gunk and feces. There's crap everywhere, and it smells horrible, and you can smell it now since it broke your helmet.
Okay.
What a
so,
shit show.
um. Yeah, let's continue to shoot at it.
You're just gonna try and stand your ground and shoot at it.
Pretty much.
Okay. Okay.
brute force solution.
Okay. So, as this stuff is just spraying around everywhere, you just unload another shot straight into it. And it impacts it and sends it back against the wall. And it looks like it's down. But then you can see its arms move. Its 7-fingered, clawed hand sort of just grips the bloody wall and claws itself back up, and it looks at you. And then it just and spits a bunch of acid that flies straight past you. And starts to melt and bubble the wall behind you a little bit.
Xenomorphs.
But at first it kind of looked like it had a hairball.
Xenocats.
Cat. Oh no.
It definitely looks hurt now. It's bleeding this greenish goop.
Green group.
So, ops phase continuing. Who's next?
Let's see. I guess I guess we'll let Roland go first, and then I'll go.
Okay.
Is Junko, you there? Hello?
Oh no, he's dead.
Are you alive? Okay, I guess I'll roll instead. Fuck it.
Junko's dead. Junko.
Alright, well, while Roland's getting eaten alive, we're going to... Let's see, I'm going to roll close quarters and hunker down. And... yeah, to do the thing that our dear friend Randall told us about with the guillotine situation.
Wow.
Okay, that's 3 successes.
It's not terrible.
Better than I was expecting, so hey.
Also, my character's having a mental break because I went over burnout.
Oh! Oh, joy!
Oops.
Your mental break. You're uncontrollably frightened and feel the need to flee.
Oh. Well, that goes against my disposition and demeanor, but okay.
What's your disposition and demeanor?
Calm and fearless.
Man, this is a giant alien velociraptor puma cat.
Alright.
Alright, what do you want your mental break to be then?
Tries to punch it.
United States of Smash!
Proceeds to be eaten immediately.
Oh, man.
Gotta kill it from the inside.
Alright, I'm gonna say that you are gonna be cowardly for the next little bit, and you're basically just behaving like Hicks from Alien. Game over, man! Game over!
Game over, man! What are we gonna do?
Told you it was a xenomorph.
Roland, are you back yet? Junko, are you muted? Junko, are you asleep?
Rip.
Okay, well, at least when you shoot the thing and you smash the glass, it smashes in such a way that it showers over the creature, and you know, it hurts it, cuts it up a little bit. Some green goop comes out from beneath its scales and feathers. You know,
I got access to his character sheet. I can roll for him.
okay. I don't know why you have that, but apparently you do.
I have access to everybody's character sheets for some
Yeah.
reason.
In this one, we have access to everybody's sheet.
I'm too lazy to fix that.
All right, let's see.
Go on, roll for him.
All right, what was he? Did he say what he was gonna do before?
You want to defend and redirect.
Did he? Okay, that's all he said.
Yeah.
That was his goal.
So-
Basically, he was hoping to get the alien, the xenomorph cat to go away. Bad kitty.
Bad kitty, no.
Okay.
No kitty.
Okay, well, fuck that. He's shooting it in the eye now.
You're gonna make...
Ah,
So he'll use man at arms and precise targeting. For his like.
Because he's got like 4 actions. Because he said he was using tactical action.
Right. So he's gonna use that for the first 2 actions or the first synergy. Unless we can just do a super synergy.
No.
All right.
I didn't say anything about super synergies, but I don't think they're a thing.
Right. Okay, I'm gonna.
Because it specifically says 2 skills make a synergy.
4 and 2. All right. So that's 6. What's his burnout at? 5. You think he'd? You know what? He wants to live. He'll take the fatigue.
Yep. And this is for the attack.
All right, and for his defense, let's see. I see hunker down. So yeah, he's gonna use hunker down and. Let's see. He's got ambush tactics, ironclad strategy. Yeah, he's gonna use the ironclad strategy of running away while shooting. Well,
Okay.
no, that does contradict hunker down though. So.
Yeah, it does. If you're using
Okay.
hunger down for that.
All right. I think he'll just use ironclad strategy and men at arms then for his defense. All right, here we go. Oof.
Big oof.
All right. Now, can he make a reroll? I see that under his nature, he put down eccentric, so he should be singing the Spice Girls while running away and shooting. He's going to be singing the Spice Girls "Wanna Be My Lover," and that's going to be the basis for his reroll.
Okay.
All right,
Right,
here we go.
You guys should play each other's characters. It's fucking hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Yes. We should just do that one campaign.
Okay,
Oh
he got
Holy
one
swap.
more success unless he's got edge. Let me see
He
what
does have an edge. He's in his element as a marine, I'm
Ooh.
pretty sure.
Yes. So he's got 4 successes. That was a good reroll. That's better than 1.
Okay. Let's just say with the previous roll, he be num nummed on.
Oops.
You saved him with the reroll.
Awesome. So
Because as the glass shatters and hits the creature, he turns around and takes a shot at its eye. And it just sort of stings it back and it just goes. Ah! And that's it. It just stops it for a mere moment before it goes back to try and bite him. And he barely dodges out of the way.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
oh man, I feel bad.
Hey, you kept him alive.
None of that has to be canon, but like
Someone near killed you. But it's all
I-
good. You're alive.
I may have rolled on your behalf.
Well, I'm not dead, am I?
No, but you did
you
gain
would've been.
fatigue, and I did use a reroll.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see those
You had
last
to
three
use
rolls.
one of your rerolls to keep you alive.
I mean, I'm fine with that. I had to go take care of my cats.
Yeah, so you gained
Because he chose not. He chose not to redirect it. He chose to turn around and shoot it.
I mean, that was going to be part of the plan. That was using my tactical action to then redirect.
Yeah, but it was the defend that saved here.
Fair enough.
Anyway, so yeah, you're like for some random
Where are
moment,
you running to, Roland?
I'm running up to the
Roland-
command deck where where I was
Alright.
originally heading.
well,
Away.
Just remember, you have to roleplay singing "I Want to Be Your Lover" because I read that on your character sheet. You have eccentric as an element, or not an element, but as a disposition. So
So
that
their
was
observation
basically for your
room
reroll.
so their observation room that they're in is suspended
Mhm.
above the ground floor. But
Not
there is
far
a
away.
vent nearby you can probably get into.
Is the vent big enough for this thing to get in? Okay. Then yes, I'm going to run for that vent to get up to them.
Yeah, so that's where you move to. So you get into there as its bite narrowly misses you.
Mhm.
Cinematic phase? Question mark?
What were the actions of the cinematic phase again? I never actually
Interacts and inhibits. Magnus, would you like to pick up some of the old Zentradi feces and throw it at it? That was a joke, but don't think about that seriously.
Well,
I was gonna say, is this suddenly now Magnus forever?
well, I do have a question, GM.
Yep.
Zentradi vents, did they have lockdown procedures to where they close shut like a blast door if there's like a leak or something?
Yeah, they seem like they've got shutters and stuff
Well, I
in
want
order
to.
prevent air leaks.
I would like to attempt to use an interact action to cause the vent shutters to close on this thing's head and crush it.
You got the actions for that?
Yes, I have my tactical action.
Storm, how many of his actions, how many skills of his did you use?
So I used 2 synergies.
Yeah,
Oh.
you got no actions left. Sorry.
Wait, when did you use my other one?
So I used the first one. I used both of them in the ops phase. I used the first one to attack, and the second one to defend.
Wait, you used 2 synergies in the ops phase?
Yep.
You used 2 skills for, yeah.
That's why you got 2 fatigues, because both of them totaled up to 6 dice.
I thought if you didn't I thought if you used it in the same phase, anything over like the first initial burnout, then automatically just go straight into the burnout track.
No, it's for any roll.
Okay, well, I'll mark down my 2 fatigue and back way further away from this thing. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about
Yep.
that.
No, it's fine.
It's any roll that goes over your burnout throughout the course of the round.
Okay.
So, okay,
Actually, Roland, do you have your
communications phase.
tactical action?
What was that?
I was asking Roland, did you use your tactical action?
You are Roland.
Or not Roland, sorry, Lonzo.
Lonzo is an officer, so.
Oh, I thought he was. I keep thinking he's a Marine. Oh well.
Yeah, no, he's just an officer. He's pretty useless.
Man.
I'm actually a Marine, but yeah.
Really? Oh man,
Yeah.
this thing can do nothing to you.
Yeah, you don't have it listed on your character sheet, Magnum. Just like how you don't
I
have
tend
your
not to read
proficiencies
Magnus's
listed.
character sheet because he tends not to put anything on them. I'm
Wait,
sure
what?
you know that frustration.
What do I not? Wait, I thought I had that on there. No,
No,
Pick
I
your
don't have that up at the
proficiencies,
top.
Magnus.
Yeah,
You don't have your proficiencies, your career, rank, wealth, fame.
you didn't write shit down, dude. Like,
You don't even have
you
any
almost
gear.
didn't even write your name down.
The sheet's even still named Magnus Sheet.
So if there's any reason why I don't know how to balance these encounters to actually hurt you, it's because I can't fucking know anything.
Okay, well, I don't have the proficiencies, but I got everything else. I hope.
Like,
I
I mean, I can understand not writing down all the mecha stuff because it's like we're not always in our mecha, and sometimes our mecha changes, and that's a pain to like
Especially in
rewrite
this.
type all that stuff. But like, come on, man.
Oops.
I'm gonna give you so much shit during this Entrada game
There we go.
over the proficiency thing.
So communications phase.
Yeah, that's just a meme now in that game.
Well,
See, that's why it's carried over here to this one, because same character.
It is the bloody same character.
Oh my gosh, it's the same character with the same missing stats on the same spots. Oh, balls. Oh, that's funny. That's so good.
I'm sorry for this highly unprofessional behavior, Ty.
no, this is
No.
normal. But besides that, I think since I'm an event and this thing can't get me, right?
Nah.
As far as we know.
Is that a nah, like, nah, it totally can't get you as you're rolling to kill me, or a nah, like, yeah, this thing literally cannot fit in here?
Nah.
Well, since it's got its head
This is
stuck in here, guys, want to just try to shut the vent on its head and kill it?
I mean, that's a better plan than no plan.
Okay. It doesn't seem like it's going to be following you, Roland.
No, has it changed its target?
Yeah.
Well,
And that new target is?
probably you guys.
I need to say it.
You guys were shooting at it.
I mean, we didn't shoot at it. We shot at the glass.
Yeah, but it now knows
Yes,
you
you
have
actually
it.
heard it.
Oh wow.
Not you, Roland. You didn't hurt shit. But
Well, no, I'm still surprised that we heard it because it took Magnus like 4 or 5 shots to even hurt this thing.
Oh, he has a machine gun, right?
I got a machine gun, yeah.
So, yeah. If I don't know, like, yeah, I guess not because that would have been 8 like total damage from the attack.
this thing is tough enough to keep taking Magnus's shotgun blasts.
Yeah, that's
I'm gonna
mecha
assume it at
damage,
least has
so-
2 mecha armor.
I would have brought rocket launchers had I known that that frickin' T-Rexes were down here.
I mean, I think we would have
Yeah,
brought the
anything
mecha.
yet.
We need to like get our giant robots down here.
Giant stompy robots would be really good right about now.
Especially if we have flamethrowers on them.
We need to find the deck with the battle pods and start trying to
Using them.
do that thing that Grubey doesn't want us to do with them.
But yeah, I think we should try to not die to these things, guys. That's my plan.
I will kill you all maliciously before I let you do that with the battle pods.
We got at least 3 guys here, plus a child. So we can do it. We can figure it out.
No big deal.
I mean, there's got to be lots of spare
weirder
parts.
than I think you meant it to be. Okay, well, that's your communication space over. Great plan, guys. Cool.
Yeah, great plan.
The plan is pretty much run.
So, support phase. Anyone?
Well, is its head still stuck in the vent here trying to get at me?
Nah, it's not trying to go after you in the vent.
Oh.
Looks like it's
Oh.
reared up to where the glass was shattered and is going to try and go up that way.
Well, I'm gonna just back into the vents. Yeah.
Ijaj is running.
As she should.
is hoofing it.
I'm gonna
Straight
tell
to
them
the
that
nearest
it can't,
vent.
I'm gonna tell them that it can't fit in the vents, so get to a vent.
Yep, that's where I'm ahead.
Lonzo's definitely going to be running for one.
If you guys are just going to push it to run as fast as you can, that's you guys sorted for the ops phase as well. Because you'll make it there before it gets up there.
All right, cool. Yeah.
Which leaves us to jump straight to Magnus, I guess.
Yeah, shotgun.
Solution game reading. Let's see. So that's 4 successes.
Can I donate my tactical action to Magnus?
I mean, I have a tactical action.
I mean, I could
Oh
shoot it.
man, you can use all the tactical actions. Use every single skill. Use every single action type.
Yeah. I'm just gonna be like, Magnus, where are you?
You can communicate with him, but Magnus, as this thing goes to lunge forward, spitting another one of these balls at you. One of these globs, one of these snotty pustules of acid. It ooh. Okay. So this time you're going to take another 5 damage, penning 5 light damage. And irony here is the resist is what's cutting down this damage. So does that hurt you? Please tell me that hurts you.
I think it does.
I just head desked.
Was that his max damage?
All right. No, he can't seem to roll anything above
Whoa.
3 successes.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that weird loud thumping outside.
Yeah, that'll be the real one of these I'm sending to
That
each
was
you.
not really a loud thumping. That
Well, it sounded like thumping from something falling down. So
Yeah.
yeah, it sounded like thumping.
okay, fair enough.
Stop correcting me.
Well, I mean, like,
You've corrected me on every other thing that I was not wrong about today.
As it goes to spit its globe of
That was a
snotty
boom.
hairball
hang
acid,
on a sec, Grubby. I'll be back. There was like,
you stick the shotgun in.
Boom.
cool.
And boom.
Okay,
boom.
I'm gonna roll for Magnus.
Okay, why is that?
Yeah.
Okay. Lonzo, Roland, Randall, you guys are in the same network of vents, so you're able to find each other pretty well after a little bit of looking around. And you guys are reunited with Ijaj.
All right. It's at that point that Lonzo just looks at him and says, "All right, I think it's time we head back to the surface as quickly as possible. We should not be down here without Becca."
Can we also just set enough explosives to blow this thing up?
I mean, I like loot, but you see that freaking thing?
The giant cat thing.
It would be really bad for the planet's ecosystem if they were ever to find a way off this ship and onto the rest of the planet. I'm sure.
Just like real cats.
Cats.
Wow.
Cats are an invasive species from space. Confirmed.
I'll make you all do a navigation check.
Alright, I'm gonna roll man-at-arms and precise targeting to find my way out.
Actually, you know what? Scratch it. Randall, you make the check because you'll be able to triangulate based off radio frequencies of
Where everybody is.
the silver wing surface. And everyone else, you guys can assist by not getting lost.
Yes, I will roll ironclad strategy and precise targeting to help. As I lean over his shoulder and go, is that the right way?
I'm going to use rally cry and psychoanalysis.
Do the fours make it on this one?
Yeah, you'll have the fours make it.
Ooh, that's a really nice assist. Thanks.
Yeah, Lonzo's doing a really good job of telling you what to do because he's an officer.
I do an even better job because I'm not an officer.
You're like an NCO, so like that's you do slightly better. You got that 5.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have been trained for this.
Trained for getting lost.
We're trained to go through vents like we're characters in Redwall or something. Fight monsters.
Don't you know? Because I was in Korea, I was a tunnel runner. You know, we just go down into the tunnels and come back with like ears.
And as an officer who's from with an armored corps background of being in like tank platoons and stuff, Lonzo knows better than to be outside of a tank right now. So getting 2 armor is exactly his instinct.
Okay, so you guys managed to make it back to the surface, and I assume you're communicating with Magnus to say get the heckin' up there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Magnus, the giant cat things are very angry. Run!
Magnus is AFK at the current moment.
So you guys make it back to the surface, and I'll read to you what is happening up there in a moment. But I need to walk across the other side of my room real quick because I realized I left the book over there, and grab my old Palladium book for Robotech.
Oh no!
I'll be right back.
No. He's gonna.
Are these like from the Ghost Ship module? I should have read that. I should have read that all the way through.
Now's our chance to plan.
Okay, so our chance to plan: we get inside of the thing, and then we just leave. We don't come back here. And in fact, you know, we call into the ASC and say there are Zentradi remnants inside of this place, and they'll come deal with it.
Yeah, but didn't we want the reward money? The ASC will end up taking all our stuff.
I mean, that's if any of them survive the giant cats.
There's a lot of ASC. They'll keep throwing people at it.
I mean, yes, but at the same time, there's a lot of giant rats also.
A lot of rats.
Who will win?
I mean,
we told you
calling it a cat is not quite right, but it looks like one when it's down walking. And you'll understand why, because the reason why I needed to grab my old Palladium book is to look up what its actual name is so I can try and find a picture for you.
I mean, I was just going to say the other ones, the saber-toothed naked mole rats. The ones that were stalking Randall and Lonzo before they ran into the giant cats.
Yeah, the cute and fluffy ones versus the ones that actually tried to eat us.
But yeah, I'm back, by the way, Grubey.
Look back.
I heard.
They contacted you over the radio and they were all like, "We gotta get out of here, man!"
Bug hunt, man!
We gotta get out of here, man!
Game over, man.
What are we gonna do?
By the way, I remember there was this random. I wish I'd find the game. It's on my like 56 megahertz computer, and like they would have the like when you would get hit by something, it would just be like game over, man, game over. It was that exact like soundbite from it played, and I was just like,
I remember there was a ripoff of Missile Command that was on my old computer back in the day, and it was like set up to say that if you lost the game.
maybe it was like that. Maybe I can't remember if it was that or not. Yeah, it was some old random crappy game like that.
It was like a crappy Flash version of Missile Command
Yeah.
that you played with like a mouse or something.
Magnus, are you going to listen to them and head for the surface, or are you gonna have some more fun down here in this monster hole?
Yeah, let's go.
They're heading back up to get mecha weapons.
Yeah, I'll go get my officer pod. I want to fire the gun. I want to fire my new
I
cannon.
want to use my officer pod for once.
Yeah, we're gonna get the officer's pod, the Spartan, and the Tomahawk.
Let's go.
And the Spartans.
You and your horror tank.
We're
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna go on a rat stomping mission.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm sure that the exposed top on this Spartan's hover tank will not come into play at all.
Here, kitty.
Blam!
So, as you guys ascend, Magnus, you fell a lot deeper than them, so it takes you much longer to get back up through the entrance that you came through. It's quite a difficult climb, actually. I'm going to have to get you to do some skill tests to see if you can climb it. But as you guys get to the surface, you're immediately greeted by guns to your faces.
Hey man, we're just trying to get away from the rats.
You guys lose a pet cat down there?
Standing before you, outside Silver Wing, is a bunch of very luxurious-looking cars and limousine. And a bunch of very well-dressed, black-tie suits, men, quite heavily armed with a mixture of laser and traditional weapons, some rocket launchers in there as well, and tied up and gagged and kind of hog stuffed onto some metal bars is Mills and McFlanagan.
Mm.
Oops.
Oh no, been attacked by the agents.
So at this point, Lonzo's just like, where
And
the fuck
Jimbo's
is-
also there. But Patches isn't tied up.
Ah,
I mean, Patches might have been tied up at first, but that wouldn't have stuck.
No. Instead, you can see that they've sort of set up a makeshift little tent area with two guys who are only wearing half of a suit, topless. They are waving pon fronds over a little throne that's been set up, where this woman just seems to be petting Patches like a cat.
More damn cats.
so I'm just gonna kind of look over and go like, oh, hey Patches,
Hi, I got candy.
make some friends? Wanna introduce us because they do have guns at our heads?
Now, the guys in suits just sort of prod you towards the center of their formation.
Yeah, no, I go. I'm assuming they want to take our guns too.
Oh yes, they try to disarm you. That was my next sentence.
How
do any of you
how badly are we outnumbered?
So there's about 25 of them.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue.
25 of them. Is that one swarm?
No.
Do we recognize any of these people?
I mean, I think I know
We're
who they are.
overly familiar.
I mean, I at least know that these guys were out here before because I spotted them in the last session. That doesn't exist anymore.
There is something very odd about your treatment, especially compared to Mills and McFlanagan, and Jimbo.
We're
Again, are hogtied.
we're not being hogtied.
No. Although Mills is very much looking at you, and he's got a ball in his mouth,
Hmm.
and just kind of.
It looks like the rapists were actually up here all along.
I smacked him upside the head.
They don't let you go near him.
Okay.
But in amongst the desert, they begin to set up some chairs for you. In a little bit of shade. A little canvas area with a sombrero. And they start serving up some hors d'oeuvres. And some water and some alcoholic beverages that they have on ice.
You mean no juice?
Yes, some no juice.
Oh,
Well, you know what? Boland's had a bad enough day. He is going to take the first alcoholic, just straight beer, and just crack it open. And
You know,
start
the
drinking.
last time a GM had a shady organization serve hors d'oeuvres and wine to the characters, a guy announced that he was going to slit their throats. You remember that, Magnum? You remember that?
You know what? That's why I'm not doing this, because I have my knife on me, but I'm not, not stupid. Mostly. I did sign up with Mills, so I can't be entirely not stupid.
Yeah, there's that.
I wonder what's going to happen when Magnus gets up there. I've got my shotgun, guys. It's okay.
Oh no.
However, not only that, as they begin to serve you almost like waiters, the person sitting on the throne, this woman, just sort of stares at you all. And you also notice that most of the people with guns are not actually watching you. They're watching the surrounding area. Like they're guarding you.
I'm gonna look over to her. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna kind of look over to the nearest one who will talk, and I'll be like, so, what's the special occasion?
One of the guards just like, the mistress will address you when she addresses you.
And who may this mistress be exactly that we should obviously know about?
This mistress is the woman sitting on the throne that you guys have been set up in front of.
No, I know that. I was asking the guy.
Like her name or something.
He looks at her and she just flicks her fingers towards him and he just backs off, terrified.
Okay.
Please, eat.
Die.
Yeah, and die.
Let us discuss business.
Okay. Sure. I'll start eating. Nibble on the snacks.
I will nibble on the snacks as elegantly as a 55-year-old, Marine can. Which is more like I just kind of grab one and I kind of stuff it in my mouth all at once.
So this is like fresh caviar, salmon, this is some of the finest produce that you have seen in a while. This is really rich, ritzy stuff. You guys haven't seen this kind of spread like almost ever for some of you. And the last time you saw some of this, it was at really expensive occasions before the world got blasted by the Zentradi.
So this is
I'm
the
going to let
most
it reduce
popular
some
thing
fatigue.
to buy.
Oh,
So-
yeah, we get to reduce fatigue.
Woo! So basically, This lady's all about the flash. Ostentatious wealth.
If he flashes his money one more time.
So, let's settle this into 3 categories, nice and simple for all of you. But before that, let us exchange pleasantries. I am Sanagawan. And I think you are members of the Silver Wings.
I'm gonna kind of look over to Bonzo and gonna kind of give the eye look of, do we sell him out right now?
Son of a guana. Don't worry, I have a handout for you.
Thank God. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, when you said the name, I was like, Gesundheit.
She looks like she's out of like Gundam or something.
I'm pretty sure she is.
Hmm.
I don't know where the character art comes from, but
yeah.
All credit due to where credit is due. It's a great image.
Oh, that's how you spell it.
Yes, and you can look up its meaning as well if you go to name translators for African continents.
Give me 1 second.
This is Africa, and names have meanings. So, look them up. I'm not doing all the work for you.
Yeah. East African Swahili means artwork. Her name is artwork.
You're looking for names native to the Ethiopian region. Anyway, so you guys introduce yourselves.
Yeah,
Of course, as graciously as I can.
My name's Roland Thompson, ma'am.
Lonzo R. Wilkinson.
Randall Wojan, and I give a nod to my head.
By the way, we're gonna regret giving this lady our real names, but whatever.
Well, I mean, it's either that or she probably tosses us back down in there.
She's
prettier than the rat.
She's probably got connections to the Coca-Cola company. That's all I got to say.
Oh no, not Coca-Cola again. Oh no.
That might be a joke that nobody would get if they haven't seen episode 5, which they never will again.
Oh my gosh, that was in last episode, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Balls.
The Coca-Cola conspiracy.
Wait, it didn't start in episode 4? I thought it started in episode 4 when you met Judge.
It might be in episode 4, actually.
I was gonna say, I think it's episode 4.
Yeah, that was the Coke machine. It actually started before we met her.
Hallelujah! It's in.
All right, we got the Coca-Cola conspiracy meme. That's still a drama on my character sheet. That's never getting resolved. I'm just gonna be punished forever.
I have written, okay, in response to that.
Why do I get this feeling this is the kind of person that makes a profit off of diamond mines with child slave labor?
You say that like it's a bad thing.
They're also not a Luxembourgish, so that's already out the, that's already partially out.
Excellent. So, I take it, it is good to finally be able to speak with you at this point. Now, I've been assured by your compatriots over there that it is Mr. Roland who is the leader of the Silver Wings.
I'm going to immediately just stare daggers at our good friend Mills. I'm just gonna kind of stare at him with the eyes of "You said what?" And then I'm gonna kind of look back and I'll be like, "Well, I guess that could be partially true due to the situation in the group."
Yes, and I've been assured that this must be your lover, Lonzo.
At that point, Lonzo shoots daggers at the rest of that group.
Just okay. We need another death frisbee, Lonzo.
Okay, next time I actually flick him into a wall, I'll kill him.
Just
Don't worry.
just turn him into tomato paste.
It'll be tomato
See,
paste.
you damaged the wrong part of his brain.
I'm going to look at her and kind of look at Lonzo and be like, "Unfortunately, I do think they were mistaken on that. We're just two old dogs from the time before the war. We're in deserts everywhere."
I understand. You're old. You're unwilling to accept it. We'll refer to you as life partners.
I'll be right back, guys.
So
Getting
that's it.
attacked by
Mills
a
is dead.
doggo. He's too excito.
So we're gonna have to kill Mills, Lonzo. Think we have a justifiable in character reason now?
Tell me. Oh man, he just walked away.
No.
Where is the great and renowned Zentradi scientist, Magnus Magnuson?
He is AFK.
He's coming. He's on his way up. We ran into some fairly large cats. Would you describe what we saw in there as a cat, Lonzo?
It's more of a mutant, one-eyed Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah, we ran into a few of those, and I believe he was working his way out of there. Well, also
Okay,
not
I'm back.
being eaten by them.
So I gotta
Yeah,
go pee.
scientist is back.
Yeah, the
Look,
scientist.
we heard what was said, Magnus.
What was said?
Nothing.
Asked
on
if the
screen.
She asked if the great and renowned Zentradi scientist Magnus Magnuson was with them.
Yes.
We should hear that from inside the ship. Just yes. Koosh, koosh.
I guess this brings us to our 3 talking points today. I do hope Mr. Magnuson arrives very soon. I have a message from his mentor.
Oh no!
Shido's Master Chief!
Oh no! Okay, that's where we need to end right there. That's it. That's it. Cliffhanger.
And Roland is gonna just be like, "Wait,
We're gonna
he has a mentor?"
Jeep!
And I'm just gonna kind of lean over to Lonzo and be like, "Wait, he has a mentor?"
He's a scientist?
Also, another question. We'll have to ask him. Well, he should hopefully be up here soon.
By the way, yeah, Grubey, I don't know if I have any skills that actually really work here. Unless me being stuck in a bad situation, I can, fix it.
So if you can figure out a way to escape the ship without climbing, some other way, sure.
Can I just look for a battle pod and get in that and eat?
That's something you can do. You can find a battle pod and then try and get it working. You can use your I can fix it skill for that.
There we go.
And
Can I find some,
Mr. Randall?
not
Yes.
covered battle armor as well?
No.
Yes, you can find some not feces covered battle armor.
Yes. Hallelujah. Okay.
Mr. Randall, I would request that you not share this information with your GMP contacts?
Okay.
Oh, he also has well,
I'm
not
just gonna kind of look at. I'm just gonna kind of look at them like.
Do I
I'm
need
just
to
gonna look at them
reroll
like,
that for the safety of my amount of ones there, Grubey?
Nah, you're good.
Okay.
I mean, you're not good, but nothing bad's gonna happen from those ones.
I'm just gonna look over at Randall and be like, "Wait, you have GMP contacts?"
I look back and just kind of shrug.
It's like,
I have to say, I thought that exact same thing.
yeah. Wait, you have GMP contacts?
Son of iguana?
So that's never going away.
No.
So, our 3 talking points today. 1. I would very much like to purchase this salvage that you've acquired at a reasonable cost. 2. I would very much like your assistance in a job. 3. I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to cease doing business in this area. That one's not negotiable.
Just like this area in the desert or Africa.
The New Empire, specifically. Not permanently, mind you. Not permanently.
No. No. Well, it would depend for the salvage. It would. We had been hired by someone else to come get this salvage, so, or rather, we'd been given the option to come out here and grab some salvage for them, but I'm sure you probably already knew that.
Yes. Who do you think told me where to find you?
I'm going to assume our great friend Sullivan?
Yes. Although it wasn't so much a tell as I paid for his drawings.
Drawings?
I think that is something anyone watching will have missed.
Oh, man. Well, wait. That was 4 as well.
You sure? Are you sure the My Little Pony fan art?
Yeah,
was-
that was...
the 30-minute explanation of what My Little Pony is in this alternate timeline, where it's ASC propaganda now.
That was... Well, I mean, maybe the explanation,
Let's go help General
but I
Glitter
remember
save the Earth from
because
aliens.
that's how I got my guns, was from episode 4.
Yeah, didn't you have to you have to fix a printer?
Yeah, that was episode 4.
Okay.
Luckily,
I swear there's
the
a lot
only
of
things
really-
that happened last time were we got to this area and they got out of the bad situation from Mr. X.
I remember there was another tangent. There was another really weird tangent where more weird stuff was explained. Anyway. So, I, Sanagoan, represent a small independent business that is neither associated with the new empire of Zimbabwe nor the Ethiopian freeholds. That said, I intend to secure the Ethiopian freeholds within the next several months, and am currently purchasing my way into the executive council of the new empire. However, you might have noticed that this isn't exactly a great continent right now. Religious fanatics in the north, militarized yahoos wandering the wastelands, plundering everything they can.
Is she talking about us?
No, she's talking about the ones in the trucks. I forgot their name. But,
Convoy rednecks.
yeah, the convoy rednecks, the ones that tried to call a monster on you guys.
Those dicks.
Yeah.
All they had to do was drive away.
But continue, ma'am. Sorry.
And then you have the greedy new empire. Lovely place it is, if you're rich.
Or a cannibal.
And then you have the Ethiopian freeholds. Well, I'm not sure if you've been there or are acquainted with it, but suffice to say, marrying into it was not my finest idea, but a necessary one. And then the biggest problem, which is where point number 2 comes in, a job that I have. The largest thorn in our side, the Army of the Southern Cross.
Well, they are a thorn in, I think, every person's lives. Generally just kind of assholes to everyone.
Yes. And with conflicts escalating in the north with those religious zealots, Africa's freedoms, rights, and profits are all set to be destabilized. Now, I am technically a neutral party in all of this, but you guys come highly recommended. And I would like to hire you in order to tip the balance of power.
If you don't mind me asking, before we sign on to a job like this, especially against a well-funded, I say with air quotes, military like the ASCs, we would want to know how you plan to destabilize. If that's so.
I want you to destroy Fort Hope.
Yeah.
Wait, what did she say?
Yeah.
She wants us to destroy an ASC base. I assume Fort Hope is the one that's right over here, right? The one that tried to blow
Yes.
us up?
It is also the largest and most heavily fortified ASC base in all of Africa, which they operate their entire operation out of.
I'm gonna kind of look at her and go, so you need us to go in and destroy Fort Hope, the literal fortress capital of the ASC on this continent, with just 7 of us, 8 of us.
With just the 7 or 8 of you? No. With the military backing by provoking our good friends, the Islamic People's Republic. Yes.
So you want us to false flag them to get the Islamic Front to hit them, and then us to hit them at the same time.
Yes, the two sides have been in conflict with each other for a while, and I don't think it'll take much to set a spark of war off which is inevitable between the two. And now, I would prefer neither of them win, if you understand. But both need to be gone. The ASE first.
I'm gonna kind of look over. If you would not mind giving me some time to consult with the rest of the group, and once Magnus gets up here, consult with him.
Speaking of which,
This is
it is around that time that Magnus actually bursts out some distance away in a battle pod.
I'm just
A
gonna
scout
kind of
battle pod.
put my finger up to my ear to like turn on my comms and be like, Magnus, is that you in the scout?
Yes.
Okay, we've made some new friends over here, and they're offering us a big job. Walk over here and then like get out of the thing. She thinks you're a world-renowned scientist, and apparently has a message from your mentor.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So she didn't say a name, but something about a message from your mentor.
I'll be right there.
Okay. Oh, then there's some drinks over here too, if you would like one.
Now,
Like, are these
Before
Entrati sized
you-
drinks, or am I gonna like take all the drinks just to get a sip?
I would like to know something about Master Jeep as well, but like, this isn't huge on backstory, so don't get hopes up, Storm.
Ah!
Time to run. Cartana. I need a wrench.
Like fucking work on a
I'll let you discuss that in a
car.
moment, but
We're
let us
gonna
address
truck.
point number one.
Work on a
Yes.
Jeep.
You want the salvage here, which, I mean, if you've already talked with Sullivan, you'll know the rate at which he was going to buy it off of us for getting it to him.
I'm offering triple. Because I posted the original bounty. And it's the same cost. But now I don't have to give commission to Sullivan for 2/3 of the cost.
He does seem to like to overcharge everyone for everything.
So, by the way, Grubby, I got about less than 10 minutes now. I need to swap over for them.
I think we're reaching a nice endpoint coming up.
I'm going to kind of look over the group, and I'm going to kind of think on it for a second and be like, I do think that would be a more fair deal than what we were getting from Sullivan.
Randall
That's what-
nods.
Londo,
Of
do you have
course.
anything else to say on that one?
You'll have to finish clearing the wreck first. I don't think.
What did you say? You were cutting out, Grubby.
Of course, you'll have to finish clearing the wreck first. I don't take incomplete goods.
Fair enough. We were actually coming out here to get our mecha to deal with some rather large pests.
At this moment, one of the guards comes up to her and begins to whisper in her ears. And she just looks annoyed. Ah. Fine, go. And the guards begin to move into position, and they actually start to take cover behind their cars in a little barricade.
I'm gonna kind of watch them do that and be like, should we move too, or?
I'm sure it'll be fine. We're about to be visited by some hillbillies.
Oh, are they still using their sonar technique to try and find this thing? Or did they just follow us here?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, if it's the hillbillies with the big tractor trailer that were running around here, broadcasting on rather open comms. They were seems like they were searching for this wreck or something in this area using large amounts of explosives. They were also willing at the drop of the hat to call the ASC to rather get some artillery strikes in the area.
Yes, they are rather barbaric.
It's a Watch Mojo thing.
Fucking hell.
you brought up a Watch Mojo thing on
I didn't even know Watch Mojo was
the
doing
top
Oh
10
my
most
God.
patriotic songs. That was great.
Oh no.
The things the Twitch chat misses out on.
Oh man, Rhythm Bot. Hey, I could actually play that one. That one's fine.
I'm looking for something really obnoxious.
Just typing
America?
Really
USA.
obnoxiously American.
Team America.
Obnoxiously American.
Born in the USA is an obnoxiously American song. I've heard it way too many times driving to college and back. It just starts off with that guy going, "Born in the USA." I'm not gonna say it's a bad song or anything. It's just after about the 1000th
Oh,
time,
for real.
you're just kind of like, dude, like, man.
Like if I listened to like 2 stations, like during the day of going where I commuted and stuff, it was just like, yep, I would hear it about 3 times a day.
Yep, that's the song.
Cresting over the hill
No,
with
no.
that playing on huge loudspeakers mounted to massive Humvees,
Frickin'
equipped
Bruce
with
Springsteen.
missiles and heavy 50 caliber machine guns. A small convoy of trucks begins to crest the dunes and come down towards you.
If you don't mind us helping, they do have a fair amount of missile equipment, and we do happen to have a defender map.
It'll be fine.
I understand.
As the convoy continues to plow its music ridiculously loud, and it comes to halt just directly in front of the little defensive formation that her guards have made. And piling out of the vehicles are a bunch of
Rednecks.
I just stopped because I was about to say some Kentucky rednecks, but then I realized where some of these players are from.
Hey.
2 of your players are
Hey.
Kentucky.
It could be worse. Could be West Virginia.
Ooh,
Oof.
where we're at in Kentucky, it might as well be.
Close enough. By the way, on a side note, I was still looking for that episode just in random files. Maybe I stashed it somewhere. And then I was just like, come on, maybe it's somewhere on my YouTube channel. And just on a side note, I looked. My speedrun of Final Fantasy VII Remake has been blocked in Denmark.
Nice.
People in Denmark can't watch it for some reason.
I mean, do people in Denmark even exist?
Weird.
Anyway, piling out of the car and walking forwards as everyone else takes up positions in a standoff, several guys approach. Hey, mates, you mind if we talk to you?
A redneck would never call somebody a mate.
This one appears different. They don't all look like they're not all American. They're not all
They're not
American.
all American, but they're blasting Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
Okay.
They all wish they could have been Americans.
They wish they could have been America before America got exploded. And before
There's a
America
few
joined
there
the New
that
World
very
Order.
much look Americans. They've got flags all over the place. And
Yeah,
these
they're
guys, one of them just like, come on, we don't have all day. And one of them looks like he says something pretty racist in the background, which gets one of them smacking him over the head.
Just the whole like. I've been listening to a few podcasts with people from like Britain and then like Australia and a couple of places, and it's just like every time that they mention America, they're like, "Yeah, man, they have guns and they have flags everywhere."
Yeah, it's great. Well, except for when the occasional psycho goes nuts. But I mean, other than that, it's great.
I mean, yeah, but it's everywhere.
Shastana decides, like, I don't want to deal with this. Some of you go see what they want and then tell them to piss off.
Am I out of the gun? Am I out of the battle pod yet?
You can climb out of that battle pod now.
I wasn't about to say
You're
gun.
just
I was about to say gun.
Gundam later.
But yeah, no, if she's telling us to go check out what they want. Right, Grubey?
Uh-huh.
Alright. I'll get up since I am the quote-unquote leader of the group somehow.
I was about to say I just fire front
Oh.
cannons to obliterate.
No, just hold on a second. We'll kill them later. We've got a very professional business meeting going on, Magnus.
I mean, with
You
how
want-
fast they are, I could probably just stomp on all of them before they have a chance to react, because apparently battle pods are just that fast on ground.
They've got some missiles definitely leveled at you.
Yeah, let's just calm down for a second, Magnus. Okay. And I'm gonna walk over and be like, "Can we help you?"
One of them steps forward and he's like, well, I believe this is our salvage and you are intruding on it, and we'd like you to please leave.
Do you have a claim or stake here?
Yes, we do. Randy! Yeah? Get the stakes.
Wrong stake, sir. I meant, like, have you actually been out here to mark your...
Get the steak. Oh, that's great.
This guy, you can now see a handout.
Mm-hmm.
Just starts walking around planting little stakes in the ground that says property of the convoy all around the place. We got our stakes claimed.
You do know we got here first and we actually marked the wreckage, right?
You stole this place while we were, tracking down its location.
Okay, I stomp on
And
them all.
by
Load them
rules of the wasteland, you can go fuck yourself. Now this is ours. Please go away.
Well, you guys are at least more polite in person than on the fucking radio. I'm gonna kind of look back over to the group, and I'm gonna look back at this guy, and
as he says that, someone comes forward from behind him and he's like, whoa. Let's be American about this.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
all right, so I'm gonna kind of look at them. I'm gonna kind of notice that I can notice that some of these people aren't even Americans, right?
We're all
Okay.
American here.
Okay.
And then in the back, you can see this guy. He just goes, "Da, is American."
I'm going to just kind of look at the guy in the back and his AK-styled rifle, and then look back over to the guy in front of me, like, all right, how do you want to settle this the American way?
Old West shootout.
You actually just stole the words right out of my mouth.
So Magnus gets to shoot him. All right.
Yeah, Magnus shows up with that fucking shotgun.
Yeah,
He's
then
like, okay, who's dueling me?
So
He just goes, well, it's your choice. We can either do a bidding war, which I guarantee we will win against.
Is a bidding war a
Not
literal
women.
war?
Or we can have pistols at dawn. Or we go away and we come back with a lot more guys and we take your oil. Oil
So-
being figurative for this wreck.
okay, I was about to say we don't actually have any oil. I haven't seen oil in a couple of years.
Nobody uses oil anymore, not since the space alien technology showed up.
Okay, so
Yeah, Roland should just murder them with guns because
This
can
is
I-
who
That's
you are
excellent.
currently negotiating with. Neil McNeil.
Neil
oh
McNeil.
gosh.
Well, I'm just gonna kind of look back at the group and our possible
friendly
sponsor back there.
face.
And I'm gonna kind of be like,
This is the first guy you were talking to, Robert Roberts.
Robert Roberts. Well, I'm gonna kind of look back at the group and I'm gonna be like, and kind of look back at them like, do you mind giving me a second to talk it over with my crew?
Absolutely.
Well,
Where I'm
Roll.
from, America, we're kind to our neighbors and allow you to take the time to consider giving us your shit before we take it with guns.
I mean, as an American who served in Korea, I do know that exact sentiment.
I laughed and I choked on my fucking food.
Okay, well,
Yes.
Face palming in the back.
But I'm just gonna go back to the group and the mistress and be like, so they want us out of here. They want to do whatever. Quick
Before you go
phone
back,
call. Oh yeah.
before you go back, he
Hmm?
just says to you, consider this though. Who are you gonna trust? Us? Former soldiers? Honorable people? Or that woman?
I mean, no offense, but
Ask her.
does it sound like?
Ask him who the woman is.
Well, who is that woman then? Do you know?
That
other-
is that harlot Sonic One, who sold her people to the slave nation.
Hmm.
Don't trust her. The Ethiopian freeholds kidnap people, turn them into forced labor camps under Zentradi watch.
Ooh,
All right.
that's quite a claim.
That is quite the claim. But let me go back and talk with my crew, because as an American, we do run this group like a democracy.
Hell yeah, brother. You hear from one of the guys in the background.
So
where
I'll be
my
back
where
in,
my gun votes counts
This
for
is a
5 votes.
democracy, and I vote for taking their shit.
Hey,
I was gonna be
hey, I
like,
mean, Magnuson votes with his gun. It counts as 5 because it's a shotgun.
It is.
it does count as 5 votes. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna just start heading back, after feel like, well, just take 5 or 10 minutes, I'll be right back. And I'm gonna get back to the group, and the mistress is like, so they have apparently claimed this wreckage. They want to take it from us, and they were nice enough to give us 3 choices: either a bidding war with you, which they think they will win, the idea of a guns fight at dawn, and finally the last option was they leave and come back with even more people to kill us all.
Well, I'd like to see them try that last one. Hillbillies.
At the same time, even
Second,
enough people. And by the way,
if
DM,
you're
so-
going to go
Okay.
second, if they want to do their American bravado pistols things, tell them they're in Africa and we'll do it with spears. And
Don't be
first of all, I
self-racist.
guarantee I will win any bidding war.
Well, they seem
I-
pretty
I
confident
open-
of their money.
Open up the battle pod and say, also that message.
Ah, yes. In a minute. I'm terribly sorry. But we have been rudely interrupted.
Well, I could just kill them all.
Flag-waving maniacs.
I could just kill them.
Well,
I really want that message.
Let's not immediately jump to the killing everyone thing. I may be an American, but
I got a new gun to try out, and I
Everyone
want this
stop for a
message.
moment. Everyone stop for a moment.
Yeah.
Hey, Randall.
Yeah.
As you're watching this clusterfrack unfold, you begin to hear, at first, what sounds like metal scratching. And then
oh no.
things giving way. And then the faint sound of a roar. And then flapping.
What?
Does the goddamn
Has
cat
wings.
fly?
It has wings.
Oh no!
They're fucking mutating,
Fly
man. This is some
right
graboid
out.
shit.
Flying straight out of the hole that Magnus had carved. The little one from before appeared.
Mhm.
And in the briefest moments that it's up there in the sky, enjoying life and freedom, finally free of its sandy tomb,
Yeah, I used the frontal cannons.
a massive one, 10 times its size, larger than a destroyed monster, the size of the Cyclops. The size of your Cyclops ship comes flying out and just nabs it in its mouth.
And that's where you're going to leave us, isn't it?
Yep, there we go. That's the end
That's
of
where I'm
the
going to leave you. I'm going to leave you with an image of what it is.
Yeah, we're literally getting to Godzilla monster territory.
Yep, we've
I think we
Godzilla
might have-
monster.
I think we now have grounds to argue for 4 times payment instead of 3 times payment.
So, I'll tell
man.
you a little bit of this, because none of you know this. This is all out of character now. None of you in character know what this is.
Nobody
But
in
this is a Phantoman rook. This is a species native to Phantoma,
Oh yeah.
and it is the natural
Wait,
predator
where did it?
of Zentradi.
I read about that in
The natural predator of the what?
ago.
It is the natural predator of the Zentradi.
Hey,
Wait, where is it at? I'm not.
He
seeing
put it in Discord.
Oh,
You're gonna have to adjust it to show it to stream.
I put a link in the stream chat actually for anybody that needs to see it.
well, here I can just bring it up then. If it's
Basically a giant Godzilla bat monster creature.
yeah, it's Mothra. It's Mothra except a bat.
My internet's being weird again, so I can't see anything. But
you
Discord
should be
hadn't
able to see
dropped
it.
out yet.
nice.
I'll come back later
Well,
and
there's
look
that
at it.
thing. So
Yeah.
anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up on my end then. And
Yeah, so that thing eats Zentradi
yeah.
for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
So let's
Oh, man.
bring up the question.
Well, there we go, guys. So that's episode 6. So, hopefully I don't forget to clip this one and get uploaded and stuff, because I did that with the last episode. Luckily, pretty much what Storm said last time we helped you judge escape capture from the thugs. That was pretty much Storm's character and Randall, and then went out into the desert, and dealt with those bandits, and that was it. So, anyway, but yeah, gotta go do some gun stuff and things. But yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, all that. Have a good one. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.